Alright, so this is going to be a little bit different from the content I'm used to making, but today I'm going to be ranking Shane Plays Roblox movies. If you don't know who he is, what do you think it's about? I've been watching his channel for about a year, so I've seen my fair share of his movies, and some of them are pretty spectacular, you know, kind of to the point where they had me clapping my cheeks after a video I did. But there are other videos that just make me wanna... And I know what some of you might be thinking, these types of videos aren't even supposed to be directed towards you. You're an adult. Kids are the target demographic, so you shouldn't be upset if the videos have plot holes, or ask me if I care real quick. Yeah, there really isn't a point to this video. I kind of just want to give my own feedback to this video that stuck out to me the most because the entire fan base isn't at the age where they can form their own opinions and thoughts. I'm going to be ranking Shane's video in this tier list right here. At the very top of the list, I have Absolute Cinema, which is pretty self-explanatory. And at the very bottom of the list, I have Plot Armor. Ranking videos at this tier doesn't necessarily mean that I hate it. I just think that they're horrible, bro. When I rank videos at this tier, I think, oh my god, how did the main character not die? And how did the power of friendship heal and solve every single problem they were fucking facing? Alright, let's get started with what I think is Shane's most ridiculous video, which is his mom was secretly in the Squid Game. I'm not even gonna lie, this and any other Squid Game Shane has ever made go straight to Plot Armor. The story starts out with Nicholas, our main character, getting his ass tore up from his mom about being a worthless bum for not cleaning the dishes. And to be fair, his mom kinda has a point. This dude crashed his mom's car, is unemployed, and broke all at the age of 20. His mom says she's going to work, emphasis on says, so Nicholas, being a sweet, caring, and lovable son, decides to loot his mom's bedroom for any extra cash before he gets kicked out. This is the guy we're supposed to be rooting for? He kicks down the door and for whatever reason checks the closet to find the Squid Game guard's uniform. And I guess someone has been training under Goku because they use instant transmission to put this dude in for a nap. He wakes up right before red light green light is about to begin and makes it to the end. After the game, Nick notices that one of the guards acts and sounds like his mom, so he asks them if he's their mom, but Nick's mom denies this and tells herself that she can't let Nick or anyone else know that they're related. Moving on from that is the glass bridge minigame, and even being the first person in line, he gets all the platforms correct. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's only a 1 in 260,000 chance he could have gotten them all right. Now, I can somewhat let this slide because it's for the plot, and there's a small chance of it happening, so I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. While taking in his victory, Nicholas is told by one of the players that he was bribed to sabotage Nicholas. Bro, what? What is the thought process behind this? She literally says that the reason he's in here is because she's trying to teach him a lesson, and that lesson is actions have consequences and disrespect comes with price. Bro, this story's plot just makes me wanna... Because later throughout the story, the guards suspect that she's been giving special treatment to Nicholas, which just makes you wonder why you bribed someone to sabotage him! While sitting in the cafeteria, he bumps into his friend Tyler, and after catching up, they make an alliance with each other and promise to keep each other safe. They move on to the next game, which is the Dalgona game, and Tyler, being the dumbass he is, starts selling and cracks his cookie. Nicholas tries to cover up his friend's mistakes by swapping cookies, but Nick's mom notices and says it's not allowed, so he's gotta pull through and lock in. Following up with that is the Mingle minigame, and instead of Tyler selling the game, it's actually Nicholas who throws the game. So his mom has to step in and save his ass from getting Swiss cheese. Even when clearly breaking the rules, he is somehow still allowed to play the game. Like, come on, bro. They're not even trying to hide the fact that he has plot armor. At least they were somewhat creative with the games they made, like the Circle of Truth, where everyone has the ability to determine whether a player is guilty or not guilty. And if they're found guilty, they get eliminated. Oh my... Finally! Bro, there is no way plot armor saved him this time. He even got voted guilty. There's actually no way. Bro, what? You're telling me Nick survived this and the guy who accused him got slimed out? Oh my, fuck this video. Honestly, this video is just extremely disappointing because there's a bunch of parts in this video that have nothing to do with the plot. Like how Nick's mom says that if he doesn't win, it'll be the end of everything, but we never actually get to see what the games are threatening his family with. So it's not even a debate on why this video gets put in holy plot armor. And if you really want to debate me on why this video should be ranked higher, you can lick my nut, bro. Moving past that hard garbage, we got Spoiled Brother Pretends to be a Psychic. Now, I actually ended up enjoying this video. The only thing that really grinded my gears was actually the main character rather than the antagonist of the video, and I'm gonna show y'all why. The video starts out with Danny giving out psychic readings to his classmates for $50, which is just straight up robbery, but low-key, you know, it's a smart hustle to get that motion. But his uptight goody two-shoes of a brother steps in and puts his brother on blast for being a fraud and telling everyone that he can't read minds. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my god, shut the hell up. Bro's literally just trying to chase a bag, and you're over here riding his knee. Later in the day, Danny is just going band for band, showering with his money, and Dylan's nerdy ass comes in and tells him how wrong it is to be scamming kids at school. Dylan. would you maybe considering shutting the fuck? The next day, Danny's new method of getting that motion is to start selling psychic crystal, and of course we got his meat gobbling brother coming in and telling everyone that they're all fakes and that it's not the right thing to do. Dylan buys one, but only to have his friend do research on it. It turns out to be rock candy, but even a blind disabled vegetable could figure that out just from the texture or smelling it. When they get home, Dylan tries snitching on Danny's motion method on his dad, but even after being told that, he still supports his son and gets 10 smackaroonies for it. Now, if I was the father of a son who was quote unquote scamming people for $50 a psychic reading, that's not a scammer. That's my son, and a future genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. And for a treat, we're gonna go to the casino and bet it all on red. Let it ride, let it ride. Dylan supposedly cares about his brother and wants him to come clean about being a psychic, but if he really did care about his brother, he would have helped bro out because he actually gets invited to the Diane's show. And Danny performs a psychic trick on the show, which is just getting him more attention and more money. Like, is the issue in the same room as us? Where's the issue? Danny is so successful being a psychic that he opens up his own store to do these psychic readings. And of course, Dylan, being a horrible sibling, tries to bring his brother down by sending in his friend to catch him in a lie and get him cancelled. Dylan shows the video to his dad, but being the supportive father figure that he is, tells Dylan to stop trying to cancel his brother. Like, come on bro, lock in! You're messing up our income. You keep this meat riding up and we're going to be living in Section 8 housing. Now, while I have been praising Danny for being a hustler, he's not the best hustler if you catch my drift, because we find out he actually hasn't been paying his assistant for dang near 3 whole months. So he threatens to rat him out on everything he's done. Even after the threats, Danny still has balls of steel and doesn't let little nobodies like him push him around, so he doesn't end up paying his assistant. And understandably, he crushes out and tells everything to the cops for a half-eaten Big Mac and a stick of gum, which is, in my opinion, a W bargain. Danny eventually gets arrested, and that's pretty much the end of the story. Now, when I first watched this, I thought Dylan was in the right because he's the main character and you're supposed to side with him. But after rewatching this and giving it a deeper thought for this video, I actually don't have a reason to hate Danny. I mean, yeah, him not paying his assistant his share of the profits was a bad move, but come on, it's all for the business, bro. He was simply a regular businessman trying to make ends meet and taking advantage of people. If anything, the customers are idiots because they're the ones buying into it. Danny simply saw an opportunity and seized at it. The video was pretty good, so this gets a my balls jiggled rating. Next up is his dad only loved his brother. Now, this is a story I can say is a feast, and they actually ended up cooking on this. I think the plot and the build up to Matt proving himself to his father is actually a goated story plot. But Matt's dad was just a D1 hater, and just like the protagonist of our last video, he's just as, if not more, of a meat rider. The story begins with Matt getting awarded with a certificate for having the worst fit known to man. I mean, he's rocking the neon Nike tech, fake J's, and a sidebar, so you already know this dude's straight up pussy repellent. Matt's dad barges into auditorium and forces Matt and everyone else to go watch the game, and Matt expresses how rude and careless he's being. Matt's dad is pretty obvious on who he cares about more between Matt and his brother Junior, and this is mostly because Junior is more of an outdoorsy kid, you know, playing football, going to the gym, and wrestling with the occasional homeless man. Matt's baddie of a mom suggests to both Matt and his dad to spend some quality time together, like throwing a ball or fishing. They were just playing catch with the football, and Junior says he needs to go to the store to buy some shoes, and as a distraction, he throws the football to Matt, and it was actually hilarious how fast he dipped.
Fine, Matt, go long! Huh. Whoa, I got it! Dad, did you see that? Hey, what the heck? Dad!
Bro, I got something to tell you. They left you for it too, man. While celebrating Matt's early graduation party, Matt's dad tries to put Junior in the spotlight, and Matt understandably gets frustrated with this, and when they get home, it's just straight hands, bro. And instead of Junior getting in trouble for rage baiting his brother, it's actually Matt who gets in trouble. Bro. What? Bro, if my dad ever grounded me for getting into a fight after he makes the whole party about his bum ass son, I low-key can't let that shit slide, and I gotta slime my mud for that. I'm sorry, not really, but that's just the way it works. After Matt and Junior graduate, they both decide it would be in their best interest to be a cop, just like their dad. But he's instantly against the idea of Matt joining the workforce because it'll only end up with him getting hurt. But Matt doesn't care because, you know, he's the man, you know, he's the GOAT, and says he's going to prove him wrong. After the intense training, he actually ends up beating his dad's record for the fitness test, pulls him aside, and instead of telling him, "Yo, son, I'm actually proud of you. You pushed yourself to the limits and broke my record. Keep pushing yourself. You're gonna be a great detective one day." Matt straight up gets shamed for doing better than his dad and his brother and tells him to quit showing off. Bro's dad honestly might be more of a hater than All For One is to All Might. Since Matt is more of a brain guy than a muscle guy, he joins to become a detective, and instead of getting assigned to do a complicated case, he gets put on crossing duty by his father and gives Junior the important case. Matt even points out that it doesn't make a lot of sense to assign the case to Junior because, you know, he's not all up there, you know, he's kind of a small brain. That's like having a diploma to teach math at school and getting assigned as an English teacher. Like, bro, it doesn't make any sense. While on crossing guard, duty, Matt catches a guy robbing a store in front of him and like, come on bro. At that point, just walk up behind him and reach for his gun at that point. Matt catches him and he's part of the big case that was assigned to Junior. And again, instead of giving him a pat on the back, his dad spits on his face and kicks him to the ground, just straight up shaming him for doing something productive. But thankfully, Officer Rufus is here to congratulate Matt and promotes him to work on the big case. While Junior's just crashing out over losing the case, Finkelberry overhears and lets Junior join the crime to get back at his brother, so they both team up. It turns out the entire plan is to catch the criminal, release him without anyone noticing, break in, steal valuables, split the valuables, and get arrested. And it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. The district eventually figures this out and Matt catches Junior working with the criminals, so he places him under arrest, and I guess that's enough to prove to his dad that he's worthy of his love. Overall, pretty great story. This gets ranked in absolute cinema, and rightfully so. And that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I actually love ranking these videos. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to binge watch these stories with whatever I'm doing. And there's actually a whole universe dedicated to this channel because there are some recurring characters like Officer Rufus, Finkelberry, and even superheroes. Some of these characters like Finkelberry have their own backstory on why they act the way that they do, but there are others like Quimby and Mark Mansley who don't have any videos explaining their backstory at all, and the ones who do are extremely old. So Shane, if you're watching this bro, I would love to see your remastered version of all these characters' backstories. Please bro, I need the lore! I even have some suggestions for videos that I'd love to see on this channel, because when I say that there's a whole universe for these characters, I really do mean that. There's a whole ass universe. Because the few times that Shane has made a superhero movie, the main character actually ends up joining a team called the Celestials, which is kind of like the Avengers, and just like the Avengers, they fight Thanos. So, you know, why not make a two-part video where the villain wins in the first video and loses in the second? The story would go insane, bro! And you know, if he wants to give me a small role for a character, I would gladly take that on. Besides that, if you made it to the end of my yapping session, thank you, bro. I love you, and I'm gonna give you a big wet kiss. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah.